Well, Sam, you've had some pretty good times in the toilet, eh?
Yes, there's been many times that... actually, to be honest...
Why are you stroking your right hand?
I was going to say, I don't know where
that,
this is going. It's sore from today.
This act is over.
Well, I was talking about mobile apps. But
Yeah, I was talking about another game that I check out on the toilet when no one's around. Some sort of central hub that brings certain videos all together.
Why are you doing this, Sam?
I don't know. Why am I doing that? No idea.
I said don't disturb you, I'm cleaning a room!
Today, we're not going to be talking about whatever the fuck he's talking about. We're going to be talking about Plants vs. Zombies. And it's actually a really unexpected story that just happens to involve our favorite ever developer.
CD Projekt Red. Right?
Plants vs. Zombies was a mobile game that was released before the giant boom of mobile, right? So pre-2012, most games on the App Store you actually had to pay for. Did you ever play Plants vs. Zombies?
Yes, I did. I played the first one, and I downloaded the second one, and I was like, hang on, I gotta pay for this shit. Screw that.
Okay, it's funny to say that, right? Plants vs. Zombies 1, massive, phenomenal success. The studio that made it, PopCap, was actually bought by...
Good old EA.
Good old EA. They bought it up back then, and they decided they were going to release a sequel to Plants vs. Zombies. Plants vs. Zombies 2 was called Garden Warfare, I think, something like that. Or maybe it was just called Plants vs. Zombies 2. I don't know. But I remember downloading...
We did the research before we did this.
I remember downloading this game myself, and I remember playing it because I was a huge fan of Plants vs. Zombies 1. Like, I played the fuck out of that game. I reckon I must have put like 100 hours into that game. It was awesome. And then number 2 came out, and I started playing it, and I was like... Whoa! This
free.
is really hard. Yeah,
It was free, wasn't it? It was free. That's right. Yes, yeah.
And I remember thinking when at the first I was like, oh sweet, it's free, I don't need to pay for it. But then I started playing it, and I was like, am I just shit at this game or what? Like, I must be fucking terrible. I can't get past like the 8th or 9th stage. So back then, I kind of just like forgot about it completely, put it out of my mind, didn't think about it until today. When this news came out on a podcast being run by a whole bunch of guys. Watch this clip here.
George made a game called Insane Aquarium. He made it
I
independently.
love that game.
Yeah, he made it ages ago, and it won a lot of awards. And he got headhunted by PopCap. And PopCap hired him, set him off with 2 more people in a small office and said, hey, make a good game. And he's like, okay, I'm going to make Plants vs. Zombies. And he made Plants vs. Zombies, and it was hugely successful. They got acquired by EA. EA made that game even more successful. And then they were like, okay, we're going to focus on this, and we're going to make a sequel. We're going to do spin-offs. We're going to do this, this, and this. And George was like, great, I've got an idea for a sequel. And they're like, okay, we're going to put it on mobile, and we're going to do this pay-to-win thing with it. And he's like, I don't know. That's not a good idea. I don't really want to do that with my game. And they said, you're fired.
Whoa.
And he left.
So it turns out that when EA bought PopCap to make a sequel to Plants vs. Zombies, they kept on the guy who originally created Plants vs. Zombies. And when he pushed back on the idea that this game should be a pay-to-win game...
Not a pay-to-win game.
No, he pushed back on the idea that it should be
Oh,
a
sorry,
pay-to-win
yes,
game.
yeah, sorry, yeah.
That's going in the fucking edit. So when he pushed back, then EA sacked him.
If you don't share our enthusiasm for the vision of this company.
No. I'm not understanding.
Get out.
What?
That's so unlike EA,
I know, right? Can you believe this?
I mean, you guys know we never harp on about EA, and look,
We never talk
they're
about
the
them.
good guys. They're the good guys. So when I heard this, I was very surprised.
It's like I have nothing to believe in anymore. When I hear these stories about EA, when I feel so close to them and connected and have such love for them as a company, it's like I don't know what to feel now, you know?
We do love them a lot.
But like, it just goes to show you that this company that's doing this today with Star Wars Battlefront, it didn't just start doing this all of a sudden. Here's another thing. I've been doing a lot of research for a video that I'm doing on my other channel this weekend on Skill Up.
Spoiler alert, it
Spoiler
sucks.
alert, it's a shitty video, really boring. It's like 40 minutes of me talking about annual reports,
God.
okay? So if you follow the way that EA has been investing as a company towards pay-to-win models in video games, this sort of stuff is not remotely surprising. But I found it like really crazy because I remember distinctly thinking this game was too hard and that I must be shit.
Yeah.
But now it all makes sense.
First of all, congratulations.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you?
Money.
Because it's like they specifically made this game to be too difficult, so you eventually had to spend money. And if you weren't willing to spend, they didn't care, and they were like, well, fuck you.
And isn't it funny that like the creator of the game, or the person that was on that game since the ground up, you know,
he created that.
Like he created that, right? Instead of like taking some of his feedback, or maybe like a bit of a to and fro, maybe like, you know, in some way coming to some sort of compromise, they just sacked the dude. It's like he obviously just stood up for like, I think,
player.
Yeah, like like make them pay still, but like be upfront with what it's going to cost, because I guarantee you, a $2.99 game is never going to be as much as it's free, guys, promise.
Totally.
And then it ends up being like a $30 game.
Makes sense. And how much does it cost?
It's free.
And what are you charging?
It's free.
Exactly right.
It's like,
but you know, EA, they're all about what's good for the player.
That's true.
I said, okay. Now, every time you have to make a decision, ask yourself this question first. Is this good for the player?
Everything we do at EA, we first ask ourselves, is this good for the player? Like, it's the most fucked.
There's the best little bit, sorry.
Is it the snake thing?
Yes, you see that?
Yes, yeah.
Anyway.
That's a euphemism for not as positive.
So perfect. I thought it was fantastic.
But anyway, it just goes to show you that this stuff doesn't just happen overnight. Companies like this don't just pull Star Wars Battlefront out of their ass. If you follow the pattern of what they've been doing for the last however long, it just completely fits. And it's sad to know that this example from 2012, you know, is just like such a marker of what we could eventually expect in the future. And it's so gut-wrenching, as you said, because it's the guy who made it. It's like his baby, this global success, and he was just turfed off it.
Yeah,
you know
and not to mention, like, this is not the publicity they need right now, gents.
Totally.
This is not the publicity. They do not need another article about them sacking someone for standing up for the consumer.
Exactly
Yet
right.
again, they've done it again.
It is really good.
Yeah.
Ask yourself this question first. Is this good for the player?